The hard part in this question is about building the formula for the area and recognizing that the area will be generated by the difference of two areas, so the integral of f minus g dx from a to b. That's what we're after if you recognize this rule. So the beginning and the end, they've given us lots of information, but I see, because I've got these as both y equals equations, I would like to draw my fence this way between my areas, which means I want a dx function and I need a beginning and an end value that are x values. So I see my beginning value to be 0 and my end value to be 1, because my coordinate 1, 1 here would mean my x value is 1 where my area actually ends. My top function is written underneath the bottom function. That's to try and trick you again, I suppose, or it's just, where it was labelled, but just be careful with that. So root 2 cos of pi on 4x is my f, and my g is simply x. So there's my formula build. Next, of course, I actually have to integrate it. So root 2 would carry. Now cos of pi on 4x, cos integrates to sine and stays positive because sine derives to positive cos, pi on 4x. Yet if I derived this, I would be timesing it by pi on 4, so I'm going to have to times it by 4 on pi, because the integral is what I'm trying to find, and the derivative would therefore cancel that 4 on pi, giving me that piece. The integral of x is x squared on 2, 0 to 1. And now I've got to actually plug these values in, and I'd like to find it as an exact value, which means do not use the calculator. So let's see, 4 root 2 on pi. Sine of pi on 4, pi on 4 times 1 is just pi on 4. Sine of pi on 4 is 1 on root 2. So I'm going to times this by 1 on root 2. I'm going to minus 1 squared on 2. That's my first part. Minus sine of 0 actually is 0. If you look at it in the unit circle, we've got 0 sitting over here as an angle, and sine is the stripe value, and the stripe value there is 0. So I'm just going to have 0 minus 0, so that all goes away. I'm left with cancelling those root 2's, 4 on pi minus a half. I would like to simplify my answer here, so I'm going to times this side by 2 on 2 and this side by pi on pi, which means I can have 8 minus pi on 2 pi as a lovely clean answer. And it was an area question, so I'd better put some units in.